So basically this is what we're going to be putting on the car this afternoon. Welcome to another episode or another follow-up on this open air, and this is probably what you guys are not expecting. This had a PD in it. The engine's out. Why is the engine out? Well, so I don't want to go into too much detail. There was a few reasons for this. One was the project that you saw on the Bon Jovi, the Tour Edition, the Daily. The results of that were absolutely surpassed what I was expecting, the feel and the drive of the car. For the target that the PD was going for, which would have been between 190 and 200, that is actually achievable with a 110 AFN, or even similar, even the 90s can be modified to control the VNT quite easily. That was one of the reasons. The second reason was I've been advised by quite a few people that the car, attention-wise, with the engine, was going to get the wrong kind of attention. And because of the power figures, it was kind of worked hand in hand. It didn't really value, or it wasn't really worth the headache of having the PD and that wrong kind of attention. So the PD's gone, sold, an engine's been sourced, a 90, a 1Z, with complete engine, installation, pedal box, everything needed. That is going to be a whole episode, or a few episodes in itself, the engine build. The target for that will be basically to more than double the horsepower, from 90 to about 190 to 200, which is achievable with the mods that I have in place for that. So that's going to be kind of done to make it nice and neat. So back to the project as it stands. Today we're going to put on, as you're going to see what's on the bench, a few items. This was a late 92, early 93 model. Really basic. It had no central locking, no electric windows, no electric mirrors, no bee-sting aerial, no pollen filter, no ABS. What makes a classic car usable, or an older car, a 90s car usable, is making it quieter, making it more refined, adding a few options that didn't have. In that vein, this afternoon, as you can see on the bench, we're going to add a pollen filter, which is really easy, just a bolt in the housing. We're going to add electric windows and the electric mirrors, which go in as one, into the wiring, into the doors, and the installation inside to the fuse box. We're going to add also the central locking with the pump and the vacuum pipes, and there's been some future proofing here. The loom that we're going to fit for the rear lights, the plug and the wires for an in-tank pump. I was always going to put an in-tank pump in this, a diesel one. As the PD, you needed it anyway, so I'm just going to retain that because it then helps us to reach that target of 190 to 200. So let's crack on with what's going to be done this afternoon. These are from the 3.5 convertible. They come chromed like that already, polished, so those with the nuts. And then the speaker holders, which make a big difference to one, the way the door closes, sounds a lot more solid, and also the sound is much improved. There's no movement in it. So like I've said, it's the same one that does the drive shafts on all Mark 1s, Mark 2s and Mark 3s, and some Mark 4s. It's actually an 8mm spline. So I love these little attention to details. I'm all about the attention to details. That's what makes a car really. Sometimes it's not the big items, it's the loads and loads of small attention details. So let's get it back to where it was, which was like that. Let's tighten it a bit more. But it's these little bits that actually make the car feel like it's starting to come together. What I quite like. So with this, there's like a protector. This goes on here. So that goes first. Make sure it's all the way in. And then this goes at the top and clips into that other bit. Perfect, just like that. So yeah, I like these little kind of details. It does start to feel like the car's starting to come together slightly. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the beasting aerial and the wiring for it. So we've got that. So we fitted the beasting aerial, just kept the long original, nothing wrong with that. So it looks quite good. I'll show you what's in the inside. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a 22mm spanner, and just ran it along the right side. So this is the loom, and the loom's in two parts. So this is the loom that covers the electric windows, the electric mirrors, and the central locking pump. So as you can see, this longer one is for passenger side. This one here with the earth is for the driver's side. This long wire with this multi-plug plugs into the central locking pump with an earth, and then these are literally the wiring, which is plug and play at the fuse box ends. They all pretty much self-explanatory where these go. So that's the loom we're going to put in first. So here we have the rear light loom. Now the main reason and the only reason we're changing this, one is it's off a later car, it's off a 96, so it's about 3 to 4 years younger, and also it's from a petrol vehicle. So it being from a petrol vehicle has this extra plug, which we'll need because we're going to do an in-tank pump. So the two inner ones are for the petrol gauge or the fuel gauge, and the two outer ones are to power the pump. So that will come in a later video. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the in-tank pump. So we've removed the old loom now. The only loom that was in there was the actual rear light one, and then just kind of clipped it in all the way along. There's a bit of soundproofing that we put on. Look at the colour. I just can't get over seeing this colour. It's so nice. And runs along there to behind where you can't see. Let me get some light. And now we're going to put the pump in. So this is the central locking pump with the two door vacuum units and the petrol flap one, and then this is the tee off for boot lid. So it's pretty straightforward, just plugs into that plug that you just saw. So it goes in this orientation with the red pipe facing down. It goes on with this belt strap. So I'm just gonna goes into that corner there, so I'm just going to strap it in and then run the vacuum pipes. So yep, got it all in nice and tidy, strapped in. So yeah, that's the fuse box all wired in, all done. The vac pipes all wired in and all done. Done also some wire management, as I like to call it, with these, with the pipes, with the wiring. I hate wiring that's loose and it rattles and resonates. So yeah, I use this insulation stroke flashing tape to go on. As you can see, I've put it on already a few places. I'm going to do some more like we've done here. The central console, it makes a bit of noise, so stuck that back down as well, the original soundproofing. Going to clean the floors next as well and put some of that soundproofing on the floors. The fronts don't need it, the backs do, and also where the rear seat goes, as well as the whole boot area. The bottom of the doors will also get done, just the bottom half. Improves the sound as well of the speakers. Yep, so it's been a long afternoon, but we got 90% of it done, so I'm quite happy about. And this bodywork is just, it's all dusty and dirty, but it's starting to take shape. So it's looking. So while we're waiting for the engine, like I've discussed, just kind of bolting on these little bits so that we're when the engine parts come, the turbo, the head bolts, and the head itself, and a few other bits, then we can kind of press on with bolting that on. But in the meanwhile, I just want to get this as much done. So all the wiring is being done, completed inside, as in, you know, the doors, the boots, everything's done now. All that's left then is basically the engine harness, which I won't do until the engine's actually in, and then I put the engine harness in with the light harness and the ABS. So yep, that's the only things I got left on the bench that didn't get done today, which were the speaker holders from the 3.5. We'll do those tomorrow, and the triangle holder bracket that goes on the boot. What we will do though is we'll give this pedal box a clean. As you can see, this is from the TDI with the electric throttle and the extra switches for the brake and the clutch. Unfortunately, we have to remove what was on there because I cut it all off to fit the Mark IV style pedal on, and now we've gone away from that PD, so I have to revert back to this style. So I'm going to give this a clean, remove what's on the car, put this on, and that's on. So yep, so join me for the next one. This is what we'll be doing, getting this done. More shiny bits to go on the car. Who doesn't like shiny bits? And yep, thanks for watching, and subscribe, ding-a-ling-a-ling, click on the bell.